feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no wave.
By the way, Vlad dropped a video, and I'm not going to lie to you, I think he eviscerated Boosie. Like, I thought he was going to play, a lot of times when you're a platform owner, you got to, and this is what I always say about when you work with rappers, they're the biggest and most egotistical people in the world, no matter who you are. If you're the PR person, the manager, the label, you got to like really appease to these guys like overinflated ego, right? And especially like, for example, say you're in media, right? You set an interview with someone. The person shows up, he's like, yo, he wants this type of food, he wants that, he wants this, he wants this, he wants that. He's late, you know what I mean? And you kind of just have to sit around and wait. Why? Because in hip hop, the rapper is just kind of seen as a central person. So these guys develop all type of like really big egos. Now, it's always interesting. We see it a lot with the Breakfast Club, where like you'll see these people, they show up and they'll be talking crazy to Charlemagne, not knowing that like Charlemagne's making like a smooth $40-50 million a year. Charlemagne's making more than every rapper that's gonna walk in there, because for a fact J. Cole, Kendrick, or Drake ain't walking in there. He's making more than everybody. Every rapper. But he's humble enough that when a rapper comes in talking all that shit, he'll let them get it off. And that's the job of a lot of people when you deal with rappers. Even if you know their ego, maybe I'm the only one who checks them a bit, right? But like, if you know their ego's a little bit whatever, you just kind of let them rock. And I thought Vlad was going to go about that way with Boosie. Because, again, Boosie's one of those guys who does good on his platform. And Vlad dropped another video and he eviscerated him. Like he just made Boosie look like a nigga he made Boosie look like a broke ass nigga who think he's bigger than the program. Now, I don't think he meant, I don't know what Vlad, like, to be honest, I was shocked by the video because I thought Vlad was trying to save the relationship. This video just made Boosie, like if Boosie returned to do interviews, it would just look like he got bitch slapped and had to come back in the house and apologize. Did y'all see the video? Did y'all see it? Okay. I want to watch this with you, but I'm going to watch it in like fast motion. Okay, it's 30 minutes long. We're not watching all of that. But let me speed it up a little bit, and I'm going to give a little bit of commentary, and we'll just kind of start off slow here, and then we're going to get into some more interesting things. Don't you worry, okay? Here we go. All right, I'm gonna skip. Come on.
Situation where I said you could only do interviews with Vlad and no one else. Busy, our schedules aren't aligning. That's why I only do interviews with Vlad and no one else. People are free agents. They can do whatever they want.
But Vlad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Boosie is, I'm thinking at least 4 or 5 times out the year.
Maybe like 3 times these days, sometimes 4 in our heyday. But hold on, let me just finish. So Boosie made a video, he was on live, and he said, well, I'm not gonna do any more Vlad interviews because I wanted 5,000 more for my interview and he wouldn't give it to me.
By the way, I still think classic chess play by Vlad, and it's sad that he had to do it to Boosie, because here's the thing. Boosie was trying to use the fact that people love him against Vlad, and he said, oh, this guy won't give me $5,000. That sounds like, yo, Vlad, you're cheap, until Vlad comes out and say, bro, I already pay you $25,000, right? And once he said that I only make $10,000, you get $25,000, everyone shifted against Boosie, I'm not going to lie.
On every blog,
here we go.
Lay out the whole story where I said, listen.
He wanted another 10.
No. Here's what really happened. I talked about this in my last interview.
On top of what you was given.
So I had to come forward and tell the whole story because this 5,000 number was floating around out of context. So I basically had to explain in the last video that up until this point for the last couple of years, Boosie was getting paid $25,000 per interview.
Okay.
When he came to me, when I called him and talked about the next interview, he said he wants $40,000. And I'm like, there's no way I could do 40.
15, Vlad.
That's another 15. And I said, there's no way I could do that. He
That's
said,
pocket watching, clearly, right? Like, he heard that 6'9", and I know the number that 6'9" got, and I'm gonna be honest with you, definitely more than 40,000, but well deserved. I know exactly how much the money 6ix9ine made Vlad, and Vlad is still eating from that. That money that Vlad made from them 6ix9ine clips is gonna help pay his grandkids fucking college tuition, right?
The lowest I'll take is 35, and I'm like, maybe I could do 30, but I got to run the numbers. I got home, ran the numbers, realized that the profit margin for the last couple of years was only 10,000. I said, I can't even give you 30 because it doesn't make any sense. The one thing that I didn't mention last time also is that Boosie was originally getting paid 20 for a while.
You went up.
I went up by 5 because I came up with the idea to do house tours. I'm like, let's do an interview at your house. I'll fly out there. We'll do the interview for 20, and then the house tour will be another 5. So if the interview gets demonetized, parts of it or whatever, the house tour will make up for that money, and it'll still be profitable overall, and you're not leaving your house.
2 different separate content.
2 separate pieces of content. Everybody wins. You get an extra 5,000. I've created a new piece of content.
All right.
I'm giving him a deal because we would do 4 interviews a year at 25. I'm saving him money by only charging him 35 for one interview.
Well, if I'm getting 25K from Vlad and I'm on that motherfucker how many times a year? And now
Okay, so
Calling him, and we've been having problems trying to get Boosie locked down to it.
so this is where I think Vlad, and I want to make it very clear. Yo, to me, when I watched this today, I realized Vlad is, and I shouldn't use this terminology because Vlad is not a slave master, but he had to crack the whip finally. He had to let it be known that you motherfuckers that are on this shit, sitting on, he don't even have a couch anymore, just a chair, that are sitting on my platform, bitch, I pay your bills. You don't pay mine. And before, I think a lot of people thought they were doing Vlad a favor. Like, yeah, I'm going to do him a favor. And I think he's like, Vlad is a very shrewd operator. Vlad even started pocket watching Boosie here. Like, that nigga Boosie ain't really making shit. Like, that nigga, you need this shit type shit. Look at this.
For 35, I walk away with 0 profit. Where am I saving money here? It looks like I'm actually just losing money because of the overhead and everything else like that. How am I saving money? And I was always open to do 4 interviews, but listen, you can even ask his assistant. I've been calling him, and we've been having problems trying to get Boosie locked down to a date. I finally had to call Boosie myself, and that's when the conversation actually happened. But I've been trying to do more interviews with him, but unfortunately, he was hard to pin down. So this is what happened, and this is kind of where
I still believe that Boosie let me tell you, it's like Sean Cotton. No, it's like Sean Cotton and Charleston White. Except I don't think Charleston White had the money problem. He knew he was always going to be the most highest paid person by Say Cheese. But let me tell you this. There's something about these interviews, and I know it's going to sound gay to y'all, but it's true. Boosie kind of felt like Vlad TV was his platform. I know. It might sound crazy, but he kind of did. That's why he never did nothing nowhere else. That's why he never started nothing for himself. And I think he probably it's like when you got that one friend and you think you're their only friend, and then you start seeing them hang with everybody else. He started inviting Vlad to his fucking house. Yo, Vlad, come on. Get some milk and cookies. You know what I mean? Now you could go in the fridge. All of a sudden he looks up. Vlad's at 6ix9ine's crib. 6ix9ine's mother is baking him all type of fucking enchiladas and chalupas. Yo, and I think Boosie was just like, yo, I'm sharing my guy. Pause. Like, not no gay shit, but like, yo, what's up? Yes, that's what happens. Feel what I'm saying?
we ended up parting ways, at least for the time being. We'll see what the future holds. But the one thing that Boosie said, which was interesting, was that he said a couple of things. He said,
yeah, Vlad got pissed. Yo, one thing I've liked about Vlad's evolution, you know, by the way, notice the watch. Notice the watch. Price my man outright. Price my man outright. Notice the watch. Vlad is not playing with niggas no more. Yo, watch. Yo, Vlad. Yo, let me tell you this. Just notice the watch. Yo, you gotta notice everything about Vlad. Vlad came a long way from when, remember like Gunplay and them talking about it? Come on, that's a long time ago. Vlad went to Turkey, got the hair right. Vlad is in shape. I seen Vlad post a picture with him and Wack. Bro, Vlad look like he's in motherfucking shape compared to these niggas out here now. Like Vlad look like he's living the best life. He looks like money looks good on Vlad. Like, look. Anytime you see, where's the fucking picture? Look, Vlad killing him now. Yo, my man Wack looked like he just walked off. He just came from the park. You know what I mean? Paru, biggest. You feel me? This guy, yo, I'm telling you, Vlad ain't taking no more shit from niggas, man. I like it too, kind of.
That I don't need podcasts. Podcasts need me.
Cap.
Now, that's what I'm saying about letting somebody have an ego, right? I think back in the day, Vlad would have just. Sometimes when you're dealing with somebody like that, you just let him say that dumb shit. Sean Cotton let Charleston White say that about his platform, even though I think he felt away. Remember what's Charleston was like, man, I don't need no say cheese. And I could tell that hurt Sean Cotton's feeling for a little bit, but he took it. But that's what you have to do when you're in that media position, because, you know, unless you're the star, you know what I mean? You know, build a platform, keep doing business, right? That will make you the bigger boss eventually. Vlad is past that point. He not taking no check. He not letting no nigga get off on him. And to keep it real, you know, you can see how he titled this. He said, Vlad, if him and Boosie are so friends, he said, it ain't about friends, it's about respect. So you know what? So Vlad is on some shit like, nigga, fuck that 25,000, nigga. You gonna respect me, nigga. When Vlad is on that, yo, I can't wait for the Boosie apology. It's gonna be great.
And also, he said that whenever people talk about Vlad TV, they would mention Boosie. You know, because Boosie was a big draw of Vlad TV. Now, number one, he's absolutely right. For a long time, when people talked about Vlad TV, they talked about Boosie because he was the biggest guest for a long time, and I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate all the interviews that me and Boosie did together because they're monumental, timeless interviews. Boosie is great in front of the camera. He has a great personality. He's animated. He has really strong opinions. He's really a perfect guest for Vlad TV. But here's the flip side of that also. Boosie's musical career peaked around 2014 or so.
This is where Vlad started shitting on him. This is when Vlad got to bring a nigga down to size. Boosie, take notes, my brother. Don't try to point your anger at me. This is what happens when this is a HR review, nigga. This is your boss, interview boss, not musical boss, because you do shows, but you only do interviews with him. This is an HR review. Look how he dress you down right quick. Feel me? He basically just gonna say you washed up, gang.
Boosie's musical career peaked around 2014 or so.
Yeah, it's been at least a decade.
Because, you know, he went to jail. You know, he had all these big songs, and he went to jail for 4 years. He came out, and the landscape had changed a little bit. And right around 2016, that's when me and him started doing interviews. And over those next 10 years, we got to know who Boosie was as a person, not just as a musical artist. And that made a big change, I feel, in how Boosie is perceived. Because if you look at Boosie in 2026 and you take away all the Vlad TV interviews and all you have is his music, I don't think that Boosie would be where he is popularity-wise.
Pop that shit, Vlad. He basically saying, yo, you helped make me, but trust and believe I helped make you. Pop that shit, Vlad.
The music is not driving that. Actually, I remember, I don't know if you were past me.
The Vlad TV because of Boosie? 100%.
Yeah.
But if you go to a Boosie concert, how many of those people in that audience haven't watched a Vlad TV Boosie interview? Probably almost none. I am positive that all the times that we've gone viral together, all the Boosie memes are Vlad TV interview memes. You're not going to tell me that all that exposure and those millions of people watching didn't increase your bookings, didn't get you new fans.
Oh, shit.
We both helped each other.
Y'all helped each other.
We both helped each other. And when it comes down to it, because he said something interesting, he said that, hey man, I'm just hustling, I'm trying to make extra money. And that's cool. But hustling and making extra money at the expense of your business partner who you've been rocking with for 20 years is not really hustling. You're just squeezing the other party out of their profit margin. And I was already saying that in these interviews, he got 25, I got 10. I did all the work. I flew out. I hired the camera crew. I took all the risk. I know, listen, Boosie's my man, but if I told him, yo, man, we forgot to record the audio. My cameraman fucked up, you know, and this whole interview's lost. Can you do another one for me?
Nah, Vlad on his ass, man. Yo.
For free, since I've already paid you, I don't know if he would do that. he might be like, well, I'll give you a discount. But I don't think that he would do a whole new interview for me for free, because ultimately that's on me. That's my risk, right? In the same way that if he does a show and the promoter doesn't promote it and only half the audience shows up, Boosie's still going to get paid when he gets paid.
That's
because
it.
there's agreements, and I understand that going into these situations that I'm taking all the risk. I'm taking 100% of the risk. Boosie's stuff gets demonetized all the time. Full interviews have gotten demonetized. I take that risk. I've never, and Boosie, you know this, I have never once came back to you and said, listen, I didn't make as much as I thought on this interview. Can you kick me back something or give me a discount or whatever else? I've always taken that on the chin, myself, every single time, because I understand business-wise, that's what we go in doing this together.
So I know you, Vlad. You.
Here we go.
That's a
Had this
fact.
whole thing probably times 100, right? About how I guess DJ Envy was saying, I don't think Boosie's worth that much, and he's like, Envy, you're wrong. With
That's a fact.
Big Boy, go do a free interview with Charlemagne. Go do a free interview with Drink Champs. You see what I'm
Because
saying?
you know what the difference is?
What's that?
They're calling them.
Yeah.
You're calling him, but
Yeah.
you're giving him opportunity.
And
you
listen,
think-
man, I was cool with that. And look, people were basically hitting up Boosie because he responded to this. He said, people are saying that he fumbled the bag. That he fumbled the bag with
He did.
Vlad. He was 25,000, and so forth.
It's 100 a year.
Boosie didn't fumble the bag. Boosie's fine. And Boosie's talking about how, this weekend he's going to make $100,000 in show money and so forth. And he is. Like, I believe that. He gets booked all the time.
That
He
has
didn't
nothing to do with
Right.
the other
But
100 you
here's-
left on the table.
But here's, I think, something that everyone should know, right?
Now, this is where I disagree. I think Vlad should have kept this off.
And Boosie knows this because we've had this type of conversation in private.
He should have kept this one in private, Vlad. I'm going to be honest. Like, this is the type of shit that niggas stop being friends over.
Where Boosie is fumbling the bag at this point in his life is that he doesn't invest his money.
See, Vlad is actually having a real convo, but what black people hear is you called him broke. Like, yeah, you know how you fumbled the bag? Yeah, that nigga ain't got shit.
And we've had this conversation. I showed him my stock portfolio, and I showed him how your money needs to start working for you. Because right now, Boosie's running around the country every weekend, throughout the week, doing shows at 43 years old and getting those bookings. At 53, 63, he's not going to want to move around like that. Like, a lot of my weekends are spent hanging out with my kids. A lot of my weekends...
Yeah, I don't think Vlad meant for it to come across like that, but hearing it, it sounds like you saying that nigga living from check to check. That alone will have a nigga, like, a nigga get mad at you type shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, black people and black people finances, they get mad, bro.
Spent just hanging out and just chilling, and I don't want to be flying all around because I've learned to invest my money, and Vlad Stocks is going to be launching pretty soon, where I'm going to break down how I got rich slow. I started with $100,000 in 2010, and it turned into 1 point something million these days by slowly growing year after year. And if Boosie, I think if he had invested his money, and look, Boosie has a high burn rate. He's got a house. I heard him recently on Twitter complaining about property taxes. He's got a...
See, you're getting there, Vlad. Chill. See, if that's your man's, you can't... And chat, I'm telling this on some real shit. I know people get upset with shit like that. And I guarantee, I'm telling you, Vlad probably not thinking like that, but I know. Like, I even tell you, like, yo, nigga, Offset got mad at me because I posted the shit about him losing and gambling. Nigga, I've lost $1 million in a day, nigga, gambling. I could say it. I've done that. You get what I'm saying? But, obviously it wasn't about me. It was me highlighting his loss, and he felt that was creating a narrative that he was broke. And I was like, no, bro, it's not even about even you losing money. I don't think Offset's broke at all. I'm like, bro, you have a habit that's keeping you in the casino that's putting you at risk. That's the thing. But he was just caring about the narrative. He was like, man, he cared about the number. That's why Wack came on here. It was like, yo, they was talking about the 800,000 number. Like, he cared about the numbers so much because people were starting to say, nah, Offset broke. Oh, he literally, this is a conversation me and Offset. Offset was like, yo, Act, bro, man, like, you my man, like, bro, like, some of these niggas think I'm broke now. It's like, yo, I might have to go up like $5 million on a gram. And I'm like, don't do that. Like, no. But I get why he's saying it. Like, niggas do feel offended when you're kind of like putting it out there like they're broke. You know what I mean? And I try to like clear it up with the Offset thing. Like, he's not broke. Like, you know what I mean? The niggas I just think he has lack of self-awareness that keeps him in places that could get him fucked up. Not like that, but, whatever. But he did care about the fact that my commentary about it or whatever I posted made him look like he was broke. Like, he don't want to look broke. Like, nobody want to look broke. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying that because I know, like, just me and Offset, like, Offset was mad at me about that. And, I don't know. They're probably way cooler friends than me and Offset. But, yeah, I could imagine Boosie's like, what? Nigga, you over here telling niggas that I'm living weekend to weekend, just making money through the week, and that basically I'm fucked up? That's how niggas hear this shit. Facts. That's how niggas hear this.
A lot of kids that he loves. He's a great dad, so he's buying his kids cars and clothes. He's always in designer. He's got a lot of jewelry. He flies around everywhere. And he's constantly putting hundreds of thousands of dollars back into his home to create this incredible home for himself, but that's not really an investment because that's just for himself. Boosie's never planning on selling this house. That's just for him and his family and his legacy. So the fact that Boosie doesn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars that are making money for him.
Yeah, nah, I think he's talking facts, but Boosie's not going to take this like that. Yo, you telling this nigga that you're basically shitting on him financially. Like, yo, yeah, I got millions, I'm good. You don't.
I think he's always chasing after the bag. He's always trying to make an extra couple thousand here, make an extra couple thousand there. And in the process, you end up straining relationships that are great relationships like what we have. Me, I don't care about that. My money, I have millions of dollars that are working for me every day. So I don't really care about that. I don't care about interviews. I don't care about an extra 5,000 or whatever else. But also, when people say that, well, you're not going to tell me what my value is, I'm not going to tell you what your value is in life. I'm not going to tell you what your value is
when it comes to... But on your platform, you can.
On my platform, I can tell you that because on my platform, there's a track record of what you bring financially, and I'm basing those numbers based on the value of Vlad TV. Now, your show money's something different. Your feature money's something different. I can't tell you about that. And I feel like people sometimes turn it into like a racial thing. Like, oh, this white guy's telling this black guy what he's worth and so forth. No, I'm not doing that.
Listen, any guy can tell any guy if he's looking at the analytics what he brings to their table.
That's all it was.
I think the elephant in the room is 6'9".
I mean, I heard that. Boosie's never told. I paid Boosie more money than anyone's ever paid him for interviews, period. And it's not even close. It's probably 100 to 1 when you look at the next person who's paid him. And we've been rocking since 2006. And we played a video of how young we were 20 years ago doing these interviews. Boosie's a baby. I'm like, I think in my early 30s. It's one of those things, man.
And chat, what I was saying about ego and shit like that, it's easier for somebody, like, for example, it's easier for somebody to diss me or diss a media personality and you get over it and say, you know what, I'm going to make money off the content anyway. Let me go do an interview with them. If you call an artist irrelevant and you say like, oh, they're irrelevant, they suck, they a bitch, if they go back and do an interview with you, they look 3 million times crazy. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes it harder for Boosie to come back. But whatever. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, I respect Boosie. He's going to put out his own interview. He's going to Patreon, which is interesting. So it's not publicly being released. So you're not going to be able to compare apples to apples.
Somebody got in his ear and said you could do your own shit.
And he should absolutely do his own shit. Him doing his own shit doesn't stop him from doing shit with other people. But he's going to release it through Patreon. And listen, I hope Boosie does well. At the end of the day, I have nothing bad to say about Boosie, period. But Patreon is a hard platform because you're requiring people to go from a totally different platform, which is Instagram and Twitter, which is where mostly his audience is, or even YouTube, in terms of where my audience.
By the way, yo, thank you, King Raji says, nah, Boosie got to box Vlad on some friendly fade shit, man. Like Rocky and Apollo and Rocky 3. Vlad is wildin'. Buddy called him working weekend. That's how I heard it. And I know he doesn't mean it like that. Or he can't. Because, like, I think he's just trying to say that Boosie is still on the circuit hustling. But that doesn't mean that, you know, Boosie ain't up millions. I hope that's what he means. Because I think Boosie's up millions. But the way he said it kind of made it seem like Boosie working paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean?
Lives and go to a totally different website to put in your credit card number and start with this whole ecosystem. And let me tell you, Patreon gave me the worst possible offer I've ever had in my life. Did I ever tell you about this?
No.
Patreon said that, because I have a big membership on YouTube, right? So they approached me and they said, listen, we want, you have a big membership on YouTube. We want to do a deal with you. And we're going to guarantee you 2 years on Patreon what you're making on YouTube. And I said, okay, this sounds like an interesting conversation. This is a conversation that's, you know, a 6-figure conversation. So we're starting the conversation. I said, okay, before we go on.
Okay, he started talking about Patreon. Anyway, the point is, it's interesting to see how this Boosie thing actually, how this is going to play out. I think this new piece of content puts it in a place where if Boosie has to come groveling back, or there's no prideful way for him to re-enter without us saying, didn't niggas tell you were wildin'? So this made it where Boosie can't save face. And a lot of times when you deal with people with ego, you want to allow for room of, hey, you know what? I finally got what he was saying. He finally got what I was saying. We got cool. He's back. With this shit, it made it seem like Boosie's working weekend to weekend, down bad, and Boosie's tweaking, which I think that is more of a, it's a hard place for Boosie to come back from when especially people look at Boosie in a particular type of way. All good. Let me do this. And I'm going to have to go grab my dogs while we do this because they are barking and it's after motherfucking midnight. I know my neighbors are like, oh my God, I hate these dogs. Okay, so let me see.